to connect with the community and to raise our voices all at the same time and to say, we ain't having this no more. It's not happening no more. End police terror, end systemic racism. Now!
This is about the young people in America. Young people, make some noise. This is historic. This is you. You put this on. You made this happen. I'm only one. You're only one. But together, look what we can do. We got enough people in this crowd right here that can change some things. Make some things happen. Make some politicians nervous. Am I going to be able to pay for that Mercedes I just bought? Or I'm getting kicked out of office? You want to stay in office, do what the people ask you to do. You want to continue to enjoy that house that you're living in, do what the people ask you to do. You want to enjoy that family vacation, do what the people ask you to do. Don't go in there sidestepping. Don't go in there flow showing. Don't go in there with your own agenda. You have to answer for everything you do. Every dollar, every nickel, every penny. Because we're watching. We are awake now. We ain't sleeping no more. As you can see, in all the different countries, all the different cities, all the different states, and right here in Oakland, you have been served your papers. Now, if we're going to evict you, you have to show us that we want to keep you. Because we ain't going for that nonsense business as usual no more. We had enough. We're up to here and business as usual. We're going to change some things. We're going to change some things. And right now, I'm about to bring some young people to the mic. I know you're tired of listening to the old folks. Drum that beat. But I'm going to bring some people to the mic who looks just like you. And who are fed up just like you. And who are tired just like you. Because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So please, who we bringing up? What are their names?
Step on up, baby. Step on up.
Black Youth of the People's Liberation. Make some noise, people. Make some noise.
Hey, what's going on, Oakland? So, my name is Akil Riley. I'm a young activist from Oakland, California. Right here I have with me our group, Black Youth for the People's Liberation. We're going to have to get up out of here after this because we got a protest that we're organizing at the Infirmary at 4. But, so we're going to say a few words.
What's up, y'all? My name is Lauren Campbell. I just graduated from Met West High School. I have a 9-year-old cousin staying with me during quarantine. And when she saw the murder of George Floyd, she asked me, why did they kill him? I was speechless. I didn't have an answer because there's no reason for Black people to constantly die at the hands of police. There's no reason to walk out your front door and feel like there's a target on your back. Today we are here to say we're done. shoulders. We're done saying we can't breathe. We're done having this, your skin is a weapon. Hello? Okay. We are done, but the fight has just started. Now I'm gonna pass the mic to my girl Luna.
Hey y'all, my name is Luna Condayo. I'm 15 years old. I'm with BY4PL. And I'm here to say that the situation that we're in, the phenomenon that we're experiencing are not new. There are countless examples, for instance, Bloody Thursday. Just like in 1934, we were being brutalized, attacked, and silenced for asking to be treated civilly. We need to unionize, unite, and take down the power structure that treats our lives as disposable. Thank you. Oh, real quick, y'all. We're hosting a Juneteenth march and rally with an art build at the end at Bobby Hutton Park, also known as the Infirmary. Please come, support Black youth organizing, and bring your youth with you. Thank you.
All right, brothers and sisters, we want to thank these young folks. Let's give these young folks a round of applause. And you know why I want to specifically thank these young folks? These young folks are the future. They're going to make change. I can see it. They're going to make change. They're going to make more change than my generation. You know why? Because they understand. They understand the division lines that they can't allow. They won't allow it. They call it, racist people call it race mixing. Oh, that's so dangerous, race mixing. You're not supposed to be race mixing. You know why the people who want to push systemic oppression don't want you to race mix? Because they know when you all get together like we are out here today, we can't be stopped. They also don't want us age mixing. They don't want us talking to these young folks and these young folks joining our causes and having their own causes and us marching down the street together. The powers that be don't want that because they want to control all the money. They want to control all the resources. They want to decide who gets it and who doesn't get it. And when they start making those decisions of who gets it and who doesn't get it, it usually disproportionately affects people of color. And these young folks understand that. So I just want to let you young folks know how proud I am of you. We got a lot of young folks that have joined the International Longshore and Warehouse Union now. We got a whole bunch of young folks in the ILWU. And some of us old folks, we know exactly what to teach them. So this ain't gonna be the last time you see us riding. This is just the beginning, brothers and sisters. You know, we used to saying, we shall overcome. Now we're going to start saying, we shall take over. We shall not be moved. So let this be a sign to all you elected officials. I know some of you are here. See all these folks out here? These folks out here don't want no A stadium downtown. We don't want that. The A stadium can stay right where it is. It's already built. We don't want that. We don't want no police terror and police brutality. We don't want that. We don't want no systemic racism. We don't want that. don't want unemployment to disproportionately affect black and brown people. We don't want that. And to wrap it up, what we do want, all brothers and sisters of all races, all colors, all genders, what we want to do is we want to live in peace. And what we pledge to do as the International Longshore and Warehouse Union, Local 10, is what we've always done in the tradition of our guiding principles. What we want to do and what we will continue to do is we will continue to make those connections in the community. We will continue to make those connections with other unions. We will continue to make those connections with all labor organizations. And we will continue to say in one voice, with our fist in the air, enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Thank you, brothers and sisters. All right, y'all. I want to bring the next speaker up now, a brother, an activist, a well-known activist, a brother who speaks out with courage and no fear. This is why he's here with us today. Brother Boots Riley.
What's up? Thank you all for coming out tonight, today. You know, we're at a momentous point in history right now. We've been taught to kind of look up to the civil rights movement, for instance. That at its height, March on Washington, 200,000 people. We had, these past 2 weeks, millions of people in the streets, all over the country. In every single city in the world, in the United States, in little towns. You had towns with 10,000 people where 2,000 people are coming out, right? And right now we're at a point where people are like, okay, how the fuck do we do this? Right? What's the next step? And a lot of that question is a question of power. What is power? How does it work? What is our power? Right? And that's what today is answering. Because our power comes from the fact that we create the wealth. Wealth is power. We have the ability to withhold that power. We have the ability to withhold our labor and shut shit down. Right? We don't want to just ask for things to get better. We want to say it's going to get better or else. Imagine if this wasn't just a one-day West Coast shutdown. Imagine if it was like we're shutting down all the West Coast ports until you do 1, 2, and 3. They would be losing billions of dollars. Way more money than they would lose from whatever we could do in the street. So that's the question. What is the strategy? This is laying out the strategy. Let me tell you how scared they are of this. I don't know if y'all know, but today, Tesla workers said, you know what? We're going to strike today too. We're striking today in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement and with the shutdown of the West Coast ports. It went out on Twitter. 3 minutes later, Elon Musk says, it's a holiday, you don't have to come, it's all good. So, they're scared of this tactic. What we need to do is wherever you work, wherever you are during the day, that's where you need to be organizing. Because we need to be able to shut this down. We need to show them that we ain't asking, we're telling, and that we'll stop the world and make them motherfuckers jump off.
All right. All right. All right, brothers and sisters. Give it up one more time for Brother Boots Riley. All right, next I'm going to bring to the stage, brothers and sisters, a member of the ILWU Local 10. This brother is also a radio show host for KBLX, the Stephen Parker Show. Just to let you know, the ILWU has resources. We got brothers and sisters who are doing things. We got ways to get the word out. Brothers and sisters, I want to introduce you to Brother Stephen Parker.
Black lives, black lives, black lives, black lives, black lives. Put your hand together, put your hand. Beautiful. It is a wonderful experience. All my young people, please make some noise. Yeah. All my not so young people, make some noise. So, us older folk, before I introduce Uncle Bobby, the uncle of Oscar Grant, who was killed at the Fruitvale BART station, us older folk, we support you wholeheartedly. Because it's in your hands now. So we need you to continue the fight after everything starts dying down, because it will, after the football season starts and basketball season and all of life starts going back about its business. We need you to keep the torch burning. Because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's going to take some stuff. We got to get some citizen review boards for the police so we can hold them accountable. And if we don't have one in your city, please start one in your city. We're standing with you, the KBLX family. I'm a proud member of KBLX. You guys are live on the KBLX Facebook fan page. Make some noise. My girl Sterling James is talking about us right now on the radio as we speak, because KBLX stands with you. But not only that, I am a proud 20-year member of one of the strongest unions in the world, and that is the Longshoremen Union, ILWU. Yeah. We shut down the port. They ain't making no money today. All of the millions of dollars, we said not today. We'll forfeit that money. And when you start making them feel it in their pockets, when they feel it in their pockets, that's when they'll start listening. I have the distinct pleasure of knowing this gentleman for quite a long time. Also his sister, Wanda Johnson, the mother of Oscar Grant. Make some noise for her. And since his nephew was murdered at the Fruitvale BART station at the hands of the BART police, he and his wife have been fighting tirelessly to make sure that we make a change and that we hold police accountable. And I appreciate all the hard work he's doing in the community. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring to the stage Uncle Bobby. What's his name? 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 Michael Brown. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? All power
people. This is historic. We want to say to all of you that is here today, thank you for being here. But I personally, the uncle of Oscar Grant, and our family, and definitely Oscar looking down on us, says thank you for standing with us, crying with us, going back and forth to court with us, praying for us, with us, but most importantly, utilizing your First Amendment right to speak to the very injustice of what you saw having to Oscar Grant on their platform. And because of that, hear what I'm saying, and because of that, for the first time in California state history, an officer was arrested, charged, convicted, and sent to jail. That's right, we need to clap it up on that. But what's really important is that we don't count it as a victory, we do count it as a historical moment. But sadly, we still got work to do. Since Oscar's murder, over 1,200 persons just here in the state of California has been murdered. Across this nation, over 13 since the murder of Oscar Grant. Thank you, thank you. So
Gotta keep it close.
so let's not let this be the last time we come together to speak to the injustice of what we see happening around this country.
I was asking.
Listen, I can be long-winded, so I'm just kind of cut it short. But I'm gonna ask all of us for at least 15 seconds of silence. George Floyd, Rashad Brooks, Breonna Taylor, Aubrey Ahmaud. A moment of silence, 15 seconds. Everyone, please. Thank you. This is not just about Oscar. We know this is systemic and it goes to the core of what's happening in this country based on the paddy rollers being slave catchers and bringing that culture right into today's policing agency. But who we have here, that's right, we all understand that, right? So we got work to do. But right now we're gonna bring up my sister, who also is the mother of Alan Bluford, to share a few words. Then after her, my brother, my nephew out of Ferguson, who lost his son, Michael Brown Jr., who the world's got to see just how heinous these policing agencies can be and how militarized they can become. Charlene.
All power to the people! All power to the people! This is what democracy looks like. This is what. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I'm proud to be black. A black woman, I'm proud. Yes, it's Juneteenth, and we all coming together. Look at a person turning off their camera, impeding the function, they will go to jail. They will be prosecuted, and we will take their pension and give it to the families to who they stole their lives. Thank you so much. Justice for Ellen.
Let them know who you is, bro.
My name is Michael Brown Sr. I am the father of Michael Brown Jr. Mike Brown was killed in 2014, August, in Ferguson, Missouri by a guy named Darren Wilson. We have a black prosecutor now, so we are working on reopening this case. But I'm gonna need all y'all help, to call in, bug that prosecutor. I'm here in every city. I need y'all to call in and bug them. We need to press this because these people doing this to us, to our people, and they getting away with it, and they think they don't have no statute on this. We can always bring that back up on murder. So this is what we're doing in Missouri. Hey, Ferguson, love y'all. Thank y'all.
Again, we as a family definitely says thank you to all of you who has supported us in the mantra called I Am Oscar Grant. This next speaker is a very important person to me, not just him alone, but the whole entire ILWU. Because as you know, on 10/23/2010, they shut down the port in regards to getting that justice for Oscar. So we love him for that, but today is historical. Today is not just about Oscar, but it's about all black lives that have been murdered around this country. So we all should give them a round of applause for just doing the work that they're doing. Oh yeah. I met this young man that's getting ready to come up, named Jack Heyman, approximately 10 years ago during the Oscar Grant struggle movement. And he walked me outside the Union Hall, and he showed me two body silhouettes in front of that Union Hall. And he said, those two that's laying there were killed by the police. I don't know if you heard me, but they were killed by the police for a big strike, if I'm saying that right, Jack, that they had put on. And so, without further ado, I want to bring up my friend. Okay. I want to bring up my friend, a serious ally in this movement for justice and accountability of police, Jack Heyman, who is one of the organizers of the apartheid stop workage, the Oscar Grant stop workage, and today, along with my brother and best friend Clarence, doing the work that we see happening today. Jack.
Thank you, Brother Bobby, for that introduction. Thank you, brother. We are here today to stop police terror and end systemic racism. What is that racism? That systemic racism, the name of that system is capitalism. Racist capitalism. This country was founded on the genocide of the Native Americans. It was built on the blood and sweat of black slaves from Africa that made it through the Middle Passage. Now, I don't know if you young folks know what COPS stands for. Cops is constables on patrol. The first patrols in this country, the first police, rounded up runaway slaves and administered brutal punishment on slaves. That's cops. That's their history. That's their genesis. And they haven't changed today. The workers of the world have power to change this capitalist system. What we did here today is an example. It's a new step forward. We are going from beyond protest to resistance to the capitalists. Resistance. We shut down all the ports on the West Coast, including Canada. But what's missing from that equation is that the rest of the U.S. ports in this country, in the Gulf and in the South, that are majority black unions, they should be coming out with us. Shut the whole goddamn country down. We need to bring other unions out with us. SEIU will be speaking later. But listen to this. The Achilles heel of American capitalism is in the cities of this country. All of the transit is run by black and brown majority workers. They have a stake in this fight. We can shut the whole damn country down. We need a revolution. Bernie Sanders called for a revolution, but his revolution was a political revolution. That means changing one capitalist party for another. Now, if you think that Biden is going to end police killings, you're fooling yourself. Wait a minute, I didn't hear that. What, is Biden going to stop police killings? Joe Biden wrote 1994 Clinton crime bill that introduced mass incarceration and militarization of the police. That's what we're facing today. The only thing that can stop that is a general strike by the working class. And I don't want to mince any bones here, but we need a revolution within the trade unions. We need to get rid of these do-nothing union officials that don't want to take their members out on strike. There is no justice under capitalism. We don't need a political revolution. We need a social revolution to replace the capitalist class with the working class. We need to be in the driver's seat. We need to abolish the police, abolish the prisons as they are today. All power to the working class.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. While we get the other microphone desanitized, I want to let you know you're in for a treat. You're in for a real treat. I mean, this brother here is fire. Straight fire. The words he spits out of his mouth could nail a politician to the woods. Accountability. I like the sister sign right here. You have messed with the last generation. We ain't taking it no more. And I'm gonna tell you, this man here can bring the noise. He can bring the noise. He can make a baby cry and a mama weep. But I am proud to call him my brother, proud to call him Mr. Thomas, and not the one that sits in the Capitol wearing a robe. We want to bring to the stage the real deal Holyfield, Mr. Clarence Thomas.
Thank you, Brother Shanklin. Can everybody hear me? In here. You can hear me now? First thing I want to do, I want everyone to give themselves a round of applause. It can be better than that. Let me hear it. I want to acknowledge each and every one of you who have been out in the streets for the last several weeks, putting your lives and bodies on the line, engaging in organized civil disobedience, shutting down the Bay Bridge, freeways. That's what it's going to take. I'm a third-generation longshore worker. My grandfather started working on the waterfront in 1944. 3 generations of us have made our living on that waterfront. But I would be remiss if I did not mention one individual. His name is Brother Leo Robinson, who passed away in 2013. Let me tell you a little about him. From a black working class family, Leo Robinson was a classmate of Ron Dellums, the former congressman, former mayor of the city of Oakland. As a matter of fact, I also went to the same high school, Oakland Tech. Just a few weeks ago, you saw what the youngsters did. One thing that Brother Leo Robinson, Brother Ron Dellums, and myself all have in common. We were all sons of longshoremen whose daddies worked in Local 10, the most radical union in the United States of America. I just want to tell you a little story. After the Soweto massacres happened in 1976 in South Africa, Brother Leo wrote a resolution saying that the ILWU should not handle any more South African cargo. From 1976 to 1984, it took that much time to build the momentum and educate workers in our own union about that struggle. In 1984, for 11 days, longshoremen refused to handle South African cargo. That information got back to Nelson Mandela, who was in Robben Island. And when Nelson Mandela got out of prison and spoke at the Oakland Coliseum, where the Oakland A's play baseball and where they ought to stay, Nelson Mandela spoke before 100,000 people, and he acknowledged ILWU Local 10. Brother Leo Robinson was a freedom fighter. We're in the same tradition. Trent Willis is a freedom fighter. Keith Shanklin is a freedom fighter. Gabriel Prowl in Seattle. In Seattle, they shutting down too. If Brother Leo was here, this is what he would say to you. You know what's happening here today on this stage? There's not one elected official up here on this stage speaking. No one can speak for the masses. No one can speak for the working class, but the working class themselves. Today, like on my t-shirt, we're mobilizing in our own name, independent independent of the Republican and Democratic parties. Yes, I did say Republican Party. The Republican Party and the Democratic Party are both subservient to capital. They're not on this stage today. They may be marching with us, but they're not on this stage. The Democratic Party, you cannot take money from police unions and say that Black Lives Matter. Democrats in Alameda County, you can't say that you support longshore jobs when you are doing the bidding for John Fisher to take black jobs away from us on the Port of Oakland. You can't be for Black Lives Matter and for black longshore workers and be in favor of taking that ballpark to the Port of Oakland. There's all kind of violence, brothers and sisters, in racist America. It's violence when our children don't have an opportunity to have decent schools. It's violence when our children live in communities where they don't have any decent, holistic, and natural foods to buy. They have to rely on fast foods. If you notice, in communities that don't have good food to eat, there's a whole lot of cops. Do you notice how they tell us they have to cut the budget? There's nothing, we got to close schools down. We got to close this down. But yet the police department, they get an increase. I heard the slogan, I hear it, and I believe it, but we got to be strategic. When we say defund the police, you know what we're talking about? We're talking about divesting from the police and investing in the community. That's what happened. That's what happened during the anti-apartheid struggle. Not only did we not work the cargo, we told the trustees of our union, take our money away from any business that's doing business with South Africa. That's what we're going to have to do. I'm going to wrap it up, brothers and sisters. I want y'all to understand one thing. You are part of a historical moment because today, not only did we commemorate Juneteenth, a historical moment, we also struck a blow against white supremacy. I'll say it again. We struck a blow against white supremacy. We struck a blow against capitalism. Listen to me carefully. You can't have capitalism without racism. They go together like a hand in glove. And today, we shut them down. And as was said earlier, the next time, all of the unions have to walk out and shut it down. That's how we will begin to change the conversation. This is a revolutionary moment. Let's build on it. An injury to one is an injury to all. Let's say it 3 times. An injury to one is an injury to all. An injury to one is an injury to all. An injury to one is an injury to all. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Brother Clarence Thomas. I just wanted to reiterate something that Brother Clarence Thomas said. Brother Clarence Thomas is one of my mentors. When I came into, I'm also a 3rd generation longshoreman. I became a member of Local 10 at a very young age. And I spoke at a union meeting one night. And I was immediately pulled to the side by Brother Leo Robinson and Brother Clarence Thomas, who at that time began to teach me what I needed to know about the revolution. Because young folks need to learn about the revolution. That's why these young folks are out here today. They want to learn about revolution. They want to learn about freedom. They want to live right. So thank you. Thank you, if you can hear me, thank you, Brother Leo Robinson, for teaching me what you taught me. And thank you, Brother Clarence Thomas, for teaching me what you taught me. Thank you. Right. And at this time, I want to I want to bring up a fellow union leader, fellow president. He's the president of one of the largest unions in the country. Well, his union is one of the largest unions in the country. He's the president of one of the largest unions in the Bay Area. Brother Joseph Bryant, president of the SEIU 1021.
Who got the power? Who got the power? Who got the power? No justice? No justice? No justice? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Make some noise, make some noise. Happy Juneteenth, everyone. So first off, I'd be remiss to not acknowledge our brothers and sisters that put this all together here today. The longshoremen, ILWU, let's make some noise for them. So my name is Joseph Bryant. I'm the president of SEIU 10-1. We represent over 60,000 workers in Northern California, and I got my folks here with me. SE. And we're here today in solidarity and on a day of importance. And normally, when I do these, I love to come off top of the head. I'm an 80s baby. I love to freestyle. Let's go back a little bit. But I felt this particular day, the significance of this day, the significance of this moment is different. Do you guys feel that? So I needed to take a different route. I stayed up all night. All right, we got to fix. So I prepared some particular things to touch on today, because today for me, in this moment, with this platform, is not about a speech. It's about a message. And in this moment, the message is so deep. The moment is so deep. And the reality about this moment, it is a movement. And we keep saying that to one another. This can't just be about yesterday. This can't just be about today. This has to be sustainable until we see real change. Is that right, folks? So I want to start by asking the question to everybody here, if y'all can hear me, because I put my heart into this. What do you think of when you think of Juneteenth? What's the meaning of Juneteenth for you? Right. There's a lot, and it was all right. You know what Juneteenth means for me? It's a symbol. It wasn't the day that the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. That was September 22nd, 1863. It went in action in this country on January 1st, 1863. It also didn't mean that slavery ended, because we know when was Juneteenth? Do folks know when Juneteenth was? June 19th, 1865. So 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, we now celebrate a day of freedom. But the reality is, it wasn't that at the time. Even when June 19th, 1965 took place, did that lead to our freedom, folks? No. Did it lead for equity for black people in this country? No. Did it lead to equality for black people in this country? No. So Juneteenth is a reminder. It's a reminder of who we are,
where we came from and what we stand for. It's deep. And in the history books in schools, we go usually back to about the 60s. We talk about the 60s a lot, and there was some amazing work done in the 60s. Before that, we go back to icons in black culture, like in American culture, like Josephine Baker in the 20s and 30s. But our history didn't start in 1920, did it? If it only started in the 20s, we might be in a different place. But let's go back to where it started.
Africa.
It started with our ancestors being taken from their homes, being taken from their families, being thrown in boats and forced into servitude for over 100 damn years. That is our history in this country. And they don't like to talk about it. They like to gloss over it. But we know the truth. And we have to talk about the truth. If we don't talk about the truth, then we never know our truth. Juneteenth also is a symbol to acknowledge those ancestors that we don't know. Just think about that. Most of the folks on stage right now can't tell you the name of their great-great-great-great-grandfather. Let that sink in. That is our history. That is our reality. And folks don't like to talk about it. But you know what we need to do? We need to acknowledge our damn ancestors. Is that right? Our ancestors are some of the most resilient people that have walked this earth. Our ancestors went through torture, went through humiliation, went through servitude for hundreds of years, and they gave their lives for us to have our lives now. And I got a question. Why, and I'm gonna wrap it up real soon, why don't we know who our ancestors are? They didn't let us read and write to this country for hundreds of years. It was actually illegal to read and write in this country. They erased our history. But we're not gonna let that didn't stop our ancestors, and that's not gonna stop us. So when we think about Juneteenth now, going into the wrap up, Juneteenth is a symbol, I heard it before, freedom. It's a symbol of liberation. It's a reminder of history and a history of injustice. Because black people in this country have lived in an injustice state from the time that we were brought here. So brothers and sisters, I'm wrapping up to say this. Juneteenth is something that we're celebrating in this moment, but we deserve that this be a national holiday moving forward. Is everybody with me to make that happen? And it's not a holiday, it's about history. When we fight, happy Juneteenth, everybody.
All right, thank you, SEIU. They always bring the folks out, SEIU. We love you, SEIU. All right, the next brother I'm calling to the stage represents an organization. Back up. Okay, we have black women on the agenda to speak. So just be patient, young lady. Just be patient, be patient. They're coming. All right. So our next speaker is a representative of an organization within the labor movement. And it's a testament to how important it is to have representation for minorities within labor organizations and within the labor movement. He's a representative of the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists. That organization was started by a sister who was a mentor to the brother we just talked about, Brother Leo Robinson. Her name was Geraldine Johnson, a black woman who started the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists. And I'm going to bring up a representative from that organization right now, Brother Claudell Douglas.
Who's streets? For sure, my name is Claudell Douglas. I'm the president of the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists. So, real quick, what y'all just saw back here a second ago, right? President Trent Willis, you know what I'm saying, brother, President Shacklin, you know what I'm saying, from ILWU, you know what I'm saying, and Joseph Bryant, that's not normal. That's not normal. You don't never see black faces as the presidents of these organizations, of these unions. That's not normal. You yelling for a black woman's face. You don't normally see a black woman's face as the president of these unions. It's a reason for that. That's systemic racism. It's still embedded in the unions. It's here. But we need y'all to change that. We need y'all to speak up to that. Speak truth to power. Don't let them off the hook, right? It's only three unions out here. I saw UPTE and SEIU and ILWU. We got 63 more unions. They not here. They didn't shut down the ports. They didn't shut down the jobs. They didn't tell they folks to come on out. It's a reason for that. They wrote their statement on their web pages, heartfelt sentiments, we love black lives, and that's it. You can't love black lives if you ain't got black lives in the leadership positions of your organization. I wasn't even feeling well today. I wasn't gonna come. You know what I'm saying? I went to the dentist. They gave me some medication. I didn't pay attention to the shit. I took the pain med. I took the you know what I'm saying? I took the damn not the pain relief. I didn't take the pain relief. I took the antibiotics as the pain relief. So I woke up this morning in pain. You know what I'm saying? And sick and feeling dizzy. But I said I couldn't miss this. I couldn't miss this. What I saw at the port was phenomenal, right? They don't want to see this. Different cultures, different genders. Everybody out here showing power. They scared of this. They scared of this. And we can't leave, we can't let up. We can't let up. So one thing real quick, when I say, you know what I'm saying, whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Defund. 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 Okay, one more thing before I wrap it up. So we got to defund the police. We know that. But the other part of the police organization is the police association. I'm not going to call them a union because they're not a union. They's an association. Right? Now this association and they contract, they got all these laws that making sure that they police can do whatever they want to do. Right? They got cooling off periods where they ain't got to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? When they get to the stand, they can read they whole pre-scripted statement. Right? They connected to the district attorneys. The district attorneys is shot. All of the whole system needs to go to hell, and we gonna rebuild it. We gonna rebuild it. Power to the people.
We got a black sister. Right on, because we have, trust me, we have full inclusion here. We are not leaving anyone out. Coming to the stage right now, brothers and sisters, Rosa Pergams, Party of Socialism and Liberation.
Solidarity with the ILWU workers who know their power and put it into motion by shutting down the ports in action against systemic systemic racism and police terror. We've seen the power we have when we're together in the streets. As we continue this rebellion, it has become increasingly clear that we must end the very system that relies on police to maintain our oppression and our exploitation. We know that this system continues to be built on land stolen through the genocide of and continued attacks on indigenous nations. On the backs of black people who have felt the weight of white supremacy and capitalism for over 400 years. On resources stolen all over the world through imperialism and its deadly military rampages. The police, the prisons, the courts, the U.S. Army, all of these institutions serve the tiny millionaire and billionaire class to protect their interests. The U.S. state is their state, the capitalist state. The U.S. government, the entire state apparatus belongs to the capitalists, not the people. The police kill us in the streets because the capitalists know what they've taken from us, and they'll do anything to keep us from taking it back. And this tiny class of millionaires and billionaires think that they can deceive us into turning against each other, or deceive us into turning to them and their politicians for solutions. But we will not be deceived. What they don't want us to know is what the ILWU workers are showing us today with their work stoppage, that we already create all the wealth. We don't need the billionaires. We don't need the capitalists. And we don't need their police. The capitalists need us, but we don't need them. We are better off without them. We deserve nothing less than an end to this system that has oppressed us and murdered us for hundreds of years. We have had enough. Today, on Juneteenth, the holiday celebrating the end of slavery, let us remember that we liberated ourselves. It is up to us to liberate ourselves again. Our power comes from unity, and our power comes from organization. After today, let's educate ourselves because we need all of our intelligence. Agitate because we need all of our enthusiasm. And organize because we need all of our strength. Thank you. And again, solidarity with the ILWU workers.
Moving right along here, brothers and sisters. Not only do we have sisters, but we got sisters from the People Power Movement coming up here next. Give them a round of applause.
Tony McDade. Nina Pop. Breonna Taylor. Dominique Fells. Rhea Milton. Oluwatoyin Salou. We begin by voicing the names of Black people of marginalized genders who have been subjected to state and interpersonal violence because so often their lives are the ones pushed to the margins of the movement for Black lives. Hello, my name is Giselle Williams. I'm a 17-year-old rising high school senior from stolen Tonga land, aka Los Angeles, California. And we're representing the People's Power Movement, a nascent and non-hierarchical collective of young radicals working to dismantle systems of oppression and transform society through direct action, mutual aid, and solidarity. You can look us up on Twitter and Instagram at the People's Power Movement. As we stand here today as young black women on a day commemorating black people's liberation from chattel enslavement, we are contemplating the true meaning of freedom. While we live in a country that touts its freedom, the so-called US is, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today. A country founded on stolen land with stolen labor, America has the blood of black, indigenous, and people of color strewn all over it. Black people are routinely brutalized, killed, maimed, assaulted, and traumatized by the state and US empire with impunity.
My name is Tatiana Washington, and I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Thank you.
And I'm here in this movement and in this fight for my Aunt Sherda. She was shot and killed by her husband, who was a police officer, who used his work-issued gun to murder my aunt and then turn the gun on himself. Enough is enough. But I'm also here all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to tell you all to listen to black women. Listen to all black women. Listen to dark-skinned black women. Listen to trans women. Listen to disabled black women. All black women. The way we get liberation for our people is through black radical feminism. That is how we get liberation. And I keep asking myself, with all of us to be up here, 3 young black women out here fighting in the middle of a pandemic, who is protecting us? We failed Sandra Bland. We failed Breonna Taylor. We failed Natasha McKenna. We failed my Aunt Sherda Davis. So when we say Black Lives Matter, we mean all Black Lives Matter. Black trans lives matter. Black non-binary lives matter. Black queer lives matter. Black disabled folks' lives matter. Black Muslim lives matter. Black Jewish lives matter. Black sex workers' lives matter. Our black siblings experiencing homelessness or incarceration lives matter. Black lives matter.
Hi everybody, my name is Aisatu Njai. I just graduated high school. I'm going to UC Santa Cruz next year. I'm so excited. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. I just wanted to say, we built this country. Black people built this country. And today we're out here to fight racism and against white supremacy, but we have to realize that all of these things are heads of the beast, which is capitalism. A class divided by race cannot come together in solidarity with one another. The ruling class is praying that we hold on to racism and that we hold on to white supremacy so that we can never rise up against them. Today, I'm calling for the working class to work together, united, to fight together, and to organize together, to finally defeat our oppressors. Solidarity, everybody. Solidarity.
All right, for those of you who don't know, we're going to bring a brother to the stage now, Brother Chris Smalls, a former Amazon worker who put forth his best effort to protect the workers at Amazon against the COVID-19 disease. And Amazon, being the big evil conglomerate that it is, retaliated against this brother for looking out after his brothers and sisters on the job. So I want him to be able to say a few words. Y'all give it up for Chris Smalls.
Oakland, Bay Area. I do things a little different. My name is Chris Smalls. I came all the way from New Jersey. And I want to give a shout out to People Power Movement. Those 3 young ladies, I helped get them out here to speak for y'all. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to the ILWU for putting this together today. Thank you for being a part of history on this historical day in front of all these historical figures. This is Juneteenth right here. This is really Juneteenth. And sorry, bear with me, y'all. Actually, you know what? Let God be the glory. And I want to say this. I need some energy from y'all. So, no justice? No justice? No peace! No justice? No peace! No justice? No peace! Ironically, I was born on July 4th. And yeah, shout out to the cancers. But guess what? Being alive back then, when they declared Independence Day, I will only be 3/4 of a man. It's a shame. Juneteenth, June 19th. This is the holiday I want to celebrate. This holiday right here should be recognized as a national holiday from here on out. Let me tell y'all a story about a black man in America. Can I do that for y'all? Officer, I live here. It's 2 in the morning. My wife and kids are in the house. I just dropped them off at the door and I went to go park the car. Why do you have me in handcuffs against the brick wall of my own home? True story. And the officer replies, "You look suspicious. We need to run a background check." Bullshit. 30 minutes later, after standing outside in the middle of the night, the officer said, "You're free to go." They found nothing on me. Right? End of story. I got another one. "Officer, I work here. Why do you have me in handcuffs in front of my job?" Do you know how embarrassing this is? It's 7 in the morning, everybody's driving in. They see me in handcuffs in the back of a police car. Why? The officer said, "You look suspicious." Wow, he's taking pictures of my tattoos. He's taking pictures of my tattoos while he's telling me this, while I'm in handcuffs. 45 minutes later, the officer sits in the car. He leans over to me. He passes me a note. He says, "Don't say anything. This conversation is being recorded." The note said, "I'm going to let you go. I'm going to give you a seatbelt ticket." Just for being black, right? Right. The handcuffs were so tight that day, I had to go to work with swollen hands. Although these encounters with the police, nowhere near the level of the lynching of George Floyd and all the other victims by the hands of this police. These are just a few examples of how the police terrorize just me, not just me, but the whole black community. Would these situations happen if I was white? Hold up, I'm in Oakland, right? Yeah! Man, fuck the police! Fuck the police! Fuck the police! Sorry, I had to do that. Sorry, kids. I'm a little different. Hold on. Before I get out of here, I got one more for y'all, one more story. Friday, March 27th, General Manager, we have no mask, we have no PPE, we have no cleaning supplies, we have no safety guidelines being enforced. Workers around me testing positive. My co-workers are sick. You need to shut this building down immediately, minimum 2 weeks. March 28th, Mr. Smalls, you're being placed on quarantine. Okay, cool. What about the rest of y'all? No, just you. What about my coworkers in my department? I'm a supervisor. What about all of them? No, just you. What about the coworker I ride to work with every day? No, just you. What the fuck is going on here? So, March 30th, I held the protest in front of JFK, Staten Island, New York. Speaking out against Amazon for dropping the ball on protecting its employees for COVID-19. 2 hours later, I was fired. They didn't give a damn about me. They didn't give a damn about my life. They didn't give a damn about how I was gonna feed my family. They didn't give a damn if I died. It gets better. He's not smart or articulate. Let's run a smear campaign on him. Said the general counsel of Amazon to Jeff Bezos about me. He's not smart or articulate. We have, to the richest man in the world, by the way, we have a better PR position than explaining how we protecting our workers. Let's smear Chris Smalls. Guess what? Let's make Chris Smalls the face of the whole union organization for Amazon. Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna wrap it up, Jack. I got you, Jack. They did just that. They fired me. I'm unemployed. I'm self-employed now. I started my own organization. TCOEW, the Congress of Essential Workers. Hey.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Mic check, mic check. Hold on. All right. Listen. All lives matter, black lives matter, trans lives matter. Yes, I understand that. Let me wrap this up before we get out of here. If they don't give it to us, what do? We shut it down, right? And I got a question for y'all before I wrap it up, Oakland. What's the biggest gang in the world? Say it again. No. Put your fist up in the air. Put your fist up in the air. Take a look around. Take a look around. We the biggest gang in the world. When we get the power together, we take the power and put it together, nothing can stop us. Nothing. And if we don't get it, we shut it down. Repeat after me. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, 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 if we don't get it. Power to the people.
All right, next speaker coming up is a brother who's representing the Oakland Tech protests, where they brought out 15,000 demonstrators. Brother Xavier.
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up, man? Y'all are beautiful. Y'all are all beautiful. Every single one of y'all. My name is Xavier Brown. I'm a first year in UCLA's acting program. And, oh, thank you. Thank you. And I, along with my brother Akil, organized a march at Oakland Tech a couple weeks ago. Okay? First and foremost, I want to say thank you to the people who planned this event. Much love to y'all. Much love to every single one of y'all. It takes heart and it takes discipline and dedication. Secondly, a huge thank you to all of you who came out to celebrate. Throughout history, black people have been abused, murdered, and hated, not only by this country, but by people all over the world. But the fact that we are here right now, it shows something. It shows how strong, determined, and how wise we truly are. We persevere. We are going through a horrific time right now. It afflicts my mind when I go on social media and watch my people being routinely killed. Seeing the constant death of my own people is overwhelming and detrimental. So to all of my community, do not be discouraged to take some time to take care of your mental health and recognize the excellence that you hold. Whether you're an athlete, an artist, a teacher, an actor, a banker, a scientist, you have a light and passion inside you that comes with being a black person. Don't let anyone take that from you. They will try to. This country will try to take that from you, but they will never succeed. Wait, hold on. Why is Columbus Day an official holiday, but Juneteenth isn't? Right. Why do we celebrate a disgusting savage who nearly wiped out an entire race simply with his mere presence? Now, I'm gonna be honest. Growing up, I never knew about Juneteenth. I never learned about it. The education in this country is skewed to fit their history, not ours. I believe it is up to us to educate ourselves and uplift our communities through knowledge. We don't need this country's validation. We never have, and we never will. We know what we about. So I just want to say, for all of you that are able to vote, please vote. Keep the revolution going. Thank you, and one love. One love.
In 2008, my nephew was killed by the police department. And that is a tragedy. Now, if you want to talk over me, then that's disrespectful. Because I'm talking about my nephew was killed by the police. This is why we having this rally. Now, if you want to talk over me, you're disrespecting my nephews may he rest in peace. Because I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of history, and you're not even paying attention. My nephew had a struggle all through his life, but he finally got a good job. He was going to celebrate his good job by going to the store, not to get beer, not to get cigarettes. Gary King. If y'all remember the story of Gary King, he was right here. We was in this civic center for months while the trial was going against the police officer named Patrick Gonzalez. Okay. He went to the store to get a bag of chips and some sodas with his 4 friends. As he was coming out the store, Officer Patrick Gonzalez said, you look like somebody that I recognize. And he said, no, I don't think so. I've been working all day, I have a job now. No, you fit the description. He said, no, I'm on my way home to go be with my mom, my dad, and enjoy a nice dinner and celebrate my first day of having a good job. The police officer said, no, you're not going nowhere. You staying right here. And he asked, what did I do? He said, it ain't what you did, you look familiar. So my nephew continued to walk. He said, why am I being detained? He said, because I want to. He said, well, I want to go home. And that's what he started doing. On 54th and Martin Luther King, which used to be Grove Street, he was crossing the street. Officer Patrick Gonzalez tackled him, ripped off his shirt, shot him with a taser gun, shot him with a taser gun until the taser gun didn't have any more juice. Cooked him from the inside. He was able to get away, but Patrick Gonzalez wasn't done with him yet. As he was running away, they put 2 shots in his back, killed him. When they got him on the table over the morgue building over there off of 3rd, the coroner told him that even if he had survived the bullet wounds, his innards were mush. His liver was fried. His pancreas was shriveled up to a raisin. His body functions would have never, ever worked again. He would have been a vegetable at best. Now I tell you that to tell you this. Going forward 10 years, in East Oakland, there was a guy by the name of Anthony Mixon, who was running from the police. And when they pulled him over, he was able to shoot 2 police officers and barricade himself in his auntie's house. Now, the reason why he was able to shoot those officers because they were shaking him down for money, and he escaped. And the same officer who killed my nephew was sitting at a desk in Alameda, put on full SWAT gear, went out to East Oakland, and killed Anthony Mixon. But got an accommodation because he took a bullet. During the funeral, he got an accommodation because he took a bullet. Now, I want to tell you this, and I hope you guys understand. When you lose somebody due to police violence, it's hard to get over. Because this man was just barely 21 years old. He had promise, he had a future, and he was expecting a baby. And it's really sad that I have to come out here and tell you my story under duress because I can't get the respect that he deserves because he lost his life while you still have yours. There is no way he could talk to you and tell you his story. There is no way he could step up to this stage and deliver to you what he felt that day.